live from the deck. Okay, hopefully this will just be a short one. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that Sonata in F major song. The Where I got it from is there's an actual little booklet that I have that I had played that one song, the finale from Love Story. So theme from Love Story Souvenir music album. This is, if anybody remembers that movie back in the day. I don't know why don't they ever replay this one? I have never seen a rerun of this one. They have all the reruns of the all the weird predictive stuff. Maybe this doesn't fall into predictive programming. I don't know. Anyway, so I mean, it's kind of a cool little. I must have ordered this online when I did. It tells about the cast and a little bit about the story of the movie. So yeah, I thought it was a good movie back then. Kind of a sad one, you know. Yeah, and this is where the saying comes: "Love means never having to say you're sorry." That's where that little saying came from. This movie, and they never replay this one. Why not? Anyway, this is a classical song by Mozart, Sonata in F major. So obviously, you're going to be using the F major scale. And so you want to practice up on F major because you're going to have a lot of fast, either 30 seconds or 16th notes. And I've got in my playlist, my inspirations, the song as played in this movie here is, there's a video of that in there. And you'll see it's really fast. And you'll notice in that song that's in the playlist there that they use the flute in there. So kind of my goal is to learn this song on the piano, play it, record it on my little karaoke machine on a cassette tape, play that back and record, have that song playing and have it learned on the flute so that I can play the flute with what I played on the piano. Have you guys ever done that? I've played harmony. I've made little harmony things before. I mean, years ago, though, years ago. You got to remember, I've set this down for 20 years or so. I didn't touch anything. What a waste, eh? But anyways, so then when you're talking about classical songs that have a lot of scalar runs and things like that, then it's good to do some technical exercises. And I do have a few books of this. I talked about it in a previous video, but I'm not going to pull them all out here. We'll just use, I'll just talk about one, the little PISCHNA 48 practice pieces for the piano, and it'll go through each of the scales. And what it does, and it might go through different little modes. I noticed I got my little modes written down there. Major, minor scales, and they make it kind of like a little song in a way, as much as you can make a scale into a song. And then they have you switch into fast runs. Your left hand is usually, unless you're left-handed, is usually your weaker hand, and especially your little finger and your fourth finger are the weaker fingers when you're doing fast stuff. So it gives practice for those weaker fingers. And that's all I'm going to say on this, otherwise it's going to go too long. I was thinking I would play little bits off of here so you can see what it's like, but it's just little things on scales. And oh, it moves up one by one. Well, it does fifths. It does, oh yeah, it does fifths. So if you're down here, what this song is doing, you're playing the first 5 tones of all the scales. Major scales. And then they do it with your left hand doing the same thing. So kind of neat little books. If you like scales, I used to always, scales were my thing. So this one, oh, and before I start showing about scales, this one you can pat F major, since it's Sonata in F major. You've got your B flat is the only black key in this song. So what you want to do is, with your right hand, you're always going to aim for getting your fourth finger on the B flat. In your left hand, you're going to always aim for getting your index finger on the B flat for fingering. And you're going to want to, because in this song, they've got things written in thirds and in just straight up quarter notes. So you're going to, your fours, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here I'm doing it with my weak hand. And I'll do one with my right. You're always going to want to do even number of octaves when you're doing just straight up quarter notes. And when you're going to do triplet type timing, you're going to want to do 3 octaves so you come out even. And do it with both hands, both things. And you're going to want to practice it kind of fast for doing this. And if you notice in here, there's lots of trills in here. So this first part, this first measure right here. So what you always do when you had a trill, you got your target note, which is the B flat. And you're going to trill the next note up in the scale. So being that the scale goes like this, C is the next note up from B flat. So, and you start on that one, and you play the trill as long as you have time to in how the note is written. Like you see here, you're playing 16th notes, so you're not going to have a whole lot of time to fit a whole lot of trills in there. Whereas in this measure, you got a quarter note. And you can play, and it's the same note actually, the B flat there. So you got more time on this one to play it. And these are grace notes. You just throw the boop bop, doo-doo, real quick in the end. And then you're on to the next, and it's triplets. Oop, am I showing it? Let's see, yeah. Then you're into the triplets. Right off of this trill here, so. Oof, yeah, and I haven't practiced this for a while, so it's pretty shady, but so in this one, you're doing, and then you go to the next note that's written, and then your next target note is G. So you're going to do the A to the G. A to the G. Now, I looked at a guy's video that was talking about doing trills. And he was talking about you can do them fast with your fingers and talking about rocking your wrist with it and making it to sound smoother. But nah. And there's not long. In these 16th notes, there's not a long enough time to be rocking any wrists, I don't think, on this one. So, on this other one, where you got the quarter note, you might have time to rock it a little bit, but anyway, so there's that. So you're always going to do what is in the scale, unless it's accidentally noted, and there's only one time in this song where they do accidentally note it, and this is what it looks like right here. See, they say TR for trill, and they've got a natural sign. So it's the target note is A. So A, the regular next note up, would be the B flat. Now that's a minor second. And if it wasn't indicated that it was natural, you would play this flat when you're trilling it. But since they indicated natural, they want you to play the B natural and A. So that's enough. That's all I'm going to say about trills and stuff. But there's a lot of them in this song, which makes it something that I like the sound of anyway. So, and now if you notice, listening to the song that's in that playlist, you're going to have, I'm already at 10 minutes. Oh my goodness. I got to hurry up. The flute. And I want to get to my word of the day. So, I haven't played the flute in a long time. Years. Many years. And thing is, you kind of lose it if you don't use it on wind instruments. So, our word of the day is embouchure. And I'm going to quickly go to it here. I guess you don't need to look at what I'm writing. Well, you might. It's derived from the word boucher, which is like the French word for mouth. You guys who have ever taken French, you probably said fermez la bouche, like shut your mouth, right? Oh, yeah. Hey, you want to, besides a word, how about if I give you a Finnish insult? Heistanapa. I got that from my dad. Say, hey, give me a Finnish insult. Now, the literal meaning of that, I'm not even going to say what it is, but it's not that bad. But I guess it's a high insult. So there you go. You learned something weird. Yeah, learn another weird thing. Anyway, so I'm not going to hold that up there because I can't read it. Okay, the mouthpiece of a wind instrument, also the manipulation of the lips and tongue in playing the wind instrument. So you say you got to develop your embouchure. Because if I first pick up this flute after not playing it in eons, it's going to sound really, it's not going to have good sound quality. It's not going to be mellow. It's not going to be smooth. Plus, I got to work on the fingering and everything else. But the embouchure itself. See, hardly any sound comes this. I'd have to practice this thing for at least maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Then all of a sudden, boom, it's going to come back mellow. Well, we'll see. I'll do a video, see if I can get it mellow or not. But that's embouchure. And that is something that needs to be practiced. If you ever go to like kids, middle school where they're all learning for the first time in band, you'll know what I'm talking about with the embouchure. But you saw a perfect example of it right here. Anyway, that's all I wanted to mention about this song. Just some weird little different stuff. And it's at over 10 minutes, and I did not want it to be that long. So until the next time, and the band plays on from the deck.